This is my old teammate, Halifax prop, and the newest member of the Honey G fan club, Luke Ambler.
Thanks for having me, mate.
How are you, mate?
Yeah, good. Thanks for having me,
Good
mate.
to see you. Now, the changing room's empty. The game's finished. Unfortunately, you didn't get the result that you wanted, obviously, first loss at season. But I think after a long pre-season, it's always good to get a game under your belt to measure where you are. So are you happy with where things went, even though you lost?
Yeah, definitely. You know, we went down to with 2 subs in end up, which is always hard, and then went down to 12 men. So, you know, these things happen. But I think everyone's obviously disappointed with the loss, but we are happy where we are. We've improved each week from his first friendly. It's just good to get a proper game under his belt.
And a lot of people obviously come to watch rugby league for the 80 minutes of entertainment that they're going to see on the field, but the common misconception is that rugby players are these big, rough, tough guys that go out on the field, and they are to some degree. You have to be pretty tough mentally and physically to play this sport, but actually some of the challenges in life start right here when the game's finished, when the changing room's gone, the crowd's gone, and you have to get back to just being a normal person. And that's something that you've become famous for, particularly around rugby league, when it comes to talking about state of mind, mental health, and some of the issues that have really crept into the game in yesteryear, that you're really encouraging people to come and start to talk. So Andy's Man Club, give us a bit of an insight into what that is and what your role in it is in it.
So, you know, less than a year ago, my brother-in-law took his life completely out of blue. To put it in perspective, we were at our house on the Saturday day, with his going 2-year-old daughter and my 2-year-old daughter, and we're having a real good laugh. And then the Sunday, got up, played football with his mates, went to play gym with kids. Sunday night had Sunday dinner. Monday morning, didn't go into work, took his life that night. And I've had a lot of stuff happen to me over the years, and I sort of developed this mentality. Why me, or what's next? And I noticed that every time I kept asking myself why me, bad stuff happened, and I used to start going around doing talks to young people about this mentality. So it was tested 4 days after Andy died. You know, after having to tell his best friend, having to tell his sister, my missus, because I got the call first, having to go pick his car up from where he left it. It was just awful. Telling my 6-year-old boy, who my little boy absolutely idolised, his uncle. It was the most devastating thing I've ever witnessed. And I've lost a lot of family members over the years, but that was most. The other way you can put it down, you lose someone to suicide, is destruction, devastating. It's just completely. So we set up this. It was just meant to be a little coffee club for men to go and talk. And the first night we did it, 9 men turned up. Wow. The second week, 15 men turned up, and then we came up with that simple campaign, which will just take a selfie like that, which within 5 weeks reached over 100 million people. Now categorised as the biggest mental health campaign that's ever been on planet, which is huge, really. And we've got 6 groups, 3 more coming, 1 in Arsenal. We've just got broke into prisons, so which is a spin on it, broke into prisons. But yeah, it's madness, really, just how fast it's grown. To say that it's only just over 6 months old, like Andy only died 8 months ago. Wow. It's just absolutely changed my life, really. You know, I do this completely voluntary. Yep. You know, there's no financial gain from it whatsoever, which you know is difficult at times, because I've put my own business on back burner in a sense, and I just literally, you know, sometimes it takes up to 18 hours a day. But I don't know. It's just something that's real special. And you know, I go to groups myself every Monday, and the stuff that guys come out with, it really just puts life into perspective.
Mate, I've been doing a little bit of work with a group called the Poverty Truth Commission this year, and it's just 2 hours a month where you go and spend time with people in poverty. And I went there with some preconceptions of what being in poverty is all about, and one of the biggest themes that I come across is this thing called social isolation, and I found that it was a real killer. And it's just this inability to get within a group, to talk, and even rugby players, sportsmen, and I guess anybody in any walk of life can perceptually be in a group where you think, oh, they've got loads of people to talk to, they've got loads of teammates, they've got loads of workmates, but actually there's some real issues that they can't talk about. Yep. And so they are in isolation, and it's key that they come together and just spend a bit of time. It's not all doom and gloom.
Exactly.
But you've got to have people who you can talk to.
Well, if you put into perspective rugby, for an example, I was speaking to Ben Kay about this, and he categorised like your WhatsApp group at rugby, every group's got one, as like the lion's den.
Yep.
If you were to put on there, listen lads, I'm struggling at the minute, for example, I broke up with my missus, I'm really struggling.
Yep.
You're either going to get rinsed, or people are going to say, let's go out, let's go get some more birds, or, you know, and it's that general thing. So what we wanted to do is, when we came up with this, we create something that anyone can come to. And what I've always said from day one is, you don't have to have had suicidal thoughts, you don't have to have a mental health condition. You might just want to go somewhere where you feel a part of something. We have guys who come every week, we have guys who come for 4 weeks, feel that they're improving in themselves, and then they can go talk to other people about it. And I was talking to you last night, and I told you that story, and this is probably the highlight for me. You know, a lot of people have come and turned their lives around and feel a lot better about themselves and gone on to get promotion with jobs, got back with their missus, got 2 kids. But one story stands out, and this lad used to be in the army, a real tough lad, you know, a bit of an hard lad. And he asked his boss at work, he says, listen, can I go to Andy's Man Club? I need to go early tonight, is that all right? He says, what is this Andy's Man Club? He says, it's a place where men go and they just talk about all they're struggling with, really. And then as he said that, it was dinner time, and he said he sat down, and then these 3 other lads had come over, big men, he said, and they're all sat around at Sarrett Road, cars driving past because they're working on roads, all getting out of JCB, sat down eating the butties. And one of them went, I've had suicidal thoughts, you know. And everyone went, shut up, no way, I've had them. I said, it just went round like an Andy's Man Club just at Sarrett Road.
Wow.
And that were the power of it for me. That because the overall goal is to not have Andy's Man Clubs, if you can understand that.
Yeah, of course, like, absolutely.
What do you mean? And I'm like, well, eventually it'd be good if just everyone, so you could go to one of your teammates at rugby or football at work and just say, listen, I'm struggling.
Yeah.
And someone bit offload someone, because talking like really does help. You know, there's still places for medication and counsellors and psychologists, you know, or Samaritans. There's so many different outlets. But when you get in a group environment with other men, and you all sit around and you talk to each other and come up with positive coping strategies, I've never experienced anything like it.
Well, it's very similar when you're talking there to what Stevie Ward's trying to do with his mentality, but he's actually doing it from a slightly different angle. One of my complaints sometimes is a lot of people get an idea and try to go off in their own pocket. It's better to work together, but yours is very different. But what stands out is Ward is always talking about the millennial man or the millennial people, and it seems the millennial people have a different attitude towards some of these issues and are willing to talk. Do you find that there's been a cultural change in your lifetime, certainly over the last 5 or 6 years, when some of these millennium children are becoming adults?
Definitely. You know, when we started this, I started doing a lot of research, and what I originally categorised, or the way, and you'll like this because you like your analogies, don't you?
Certainly do.
The analogy I use is that men generally are like cavemen. You know, well, there was cavemen, weren't we?
Of course we are.
So, you know, we come from an era where men go out hunting, we bring us food home, we chuck it, missus are all looking after kids, getting fire ready so they can cook us food, then we sit around grunting. But the world's obviously evolved. Women are now going out to work and everyone's evolving, but men's emotions haven't quite evolved and kept up with the speed of, you know, as women. But it's changing, especially I'd say the change I'm noticing is definitely in these last 5-6 months. It's just, it's okay to talk about when you see that there's people, big celebrities, now coming out saying that they've had depression. I link it to the LGBT community. Right. You know, 5 years ago, you know, not that it's not difficult to come out now, but it were very hard 5 years ago to come out. And that's sort of like where we're getting at with mental health. You know, we've got to get people to come out and say, I've struggled, because then it's a spiral effect. When you put in perspective that 1 in 4 people have got a mental health condition that have admitted to it, or that we know about, it's a lot of people. You know, there's 5 of us in this room now. That means 1 or potentially 2 of us will or at some point experience a mental health condition. So it's just letting people know that there's ways and means to help yourself and not get to a point of where Andy got to.
I'm always interested in human beings and the way they deal with anxiety, deal with problems, deal with adversity. And there are different types. So some people got brain chemistry problems, and some of that's self-inflicted with the diet and lack of sleep. There's some people who really struggle with anxiety, and you mentioned it earlier, right at the outset, when you was talking about some of your own perceptions and how you know, when you was thinking negatively, bad things happened. Yeah. And I recently watched a scientific study that said a lot of people who die from stress-related illnesses are the people that believe that stress is bad for you. If you think stress is something that gets you out of your comfort zone and actually makes you grow, it can actually be beneficial. That is quite scientific, and it's true. So putting a positive spin on some of these things that causes stress can really be a massive help as well. But one thing that I think is probably king set under all of it is how we develop as children and what we go through when we're young. And you did an outstanding video. I was a bit envious here at Rugby AM. The quality of the video I thought was very, very good. That starred yourself, your dad, who I saw upstairs before the game, and your son as well. Just tell us, was that the plan? Were they supposed to be in it? How did all that come about?
No, so we've done a video with the Lab Bible up at this place called Ogden, and as I was driving away, I just had my little boy was with us, and I had an idea that, you know, we can stop this early. Like, if we can get kids to talk, and as kids, encourage as kids to talk early doors and let them show that it's okay to talk, and it's okay to show emotion, it's okay to be upset. So I came up with this idea, and then I was chatting to a lady who I do a lot of work with a charity over in Bradford, and she says, "Oh, I've got a link to a place called Fixers, ITV. They'd come up with education resources, so they came up with it. My little boy, we're going to play the little boy, and then we're going to get an actor to come and play the teenager and the older one, the older man in it. And then I was just going to play a dad where you couldn't see me, just because it's such a short video. To get a lot of people in it had been a bit of a farce. Anyway, the lad couldn't come on the day, so I was going to have to play these 3 parts, and I was like, wasn't expecting it. And my dad had an operation on his nose, so he would drive up to a job just past it, so I told him to call for a coffee. And as he did, I says, "Oh, they want you to be in this film," and like any man, I'm not bloody doing that. Within a minute, let me look at that script. So he's had a look at script. All right, and I'll give it a go. And he did really well, actually. And it was really nice that, you know, there's my little boy, there's me, and then my dad all in it. And it's sort of fitting really and end up that it ties in so nicely. And it's, you know, it came out a really nice piece. It's really powerful. And I know a lot of people are using that, you know, around now as an educational resource. Well,
it was true, mate. I give it that. I give it the big thumbs up. I thought it was brilliant, perfect. Here it is, if you don't mind me just pinching that. That's the logo. That's what's gone viral. Hashtag Andy's Man Club. Hashtag It's Okay to Talk. It's all about rugby league. There are other things that go on, and great lads like Luke Ambler, who needs that hat on looking at his hair. Well done, mate.
Thank you, mate. Cheers.